Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you know when I post a new video. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how I made this cake. Let's hop into it. Okay, so I have two 8-inch pans here. I'm going to start off by spraying them with some Baker's Joy baking spray to make sure that my cake doesn't stick. Okay, so I have some butter here that is room temperature. I am going to go ahead and put this whole stick in, and I am also going to add the sugar. Along with the sugar, I am adding the oil. I'm using a half a cup of vegetable oil, and I am just going to go ahead and let that mix together or blend together for about 2 minutes till it all creams together. Oh yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Cream. Okay, so while that is creamy, I am going to go ahead and mix my dry ingredients together, which I have my flour here, and I'm also going to add in my baking powder, and then I'm just going to go ahead and mix that all together. At this point, you can add a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon of salt if you like, but I don't need it because the butter I was using, I think, has salt in it. All right, so now that that is creamed together, that is the sugar, the butter, and the oil, I am going to go ahead and add my eggs in one at a time. Okay, so when adding eggs, whenever you don't see the yellow anymore, you add the next eggs. And that's what I'm doing here to get all 3 eggs into my cake mixture. Okay, so this is where you're going to add your flavoring in. I am using cookie nip. You can use vanilla flavor, cake flavor, whatever flavor you like, but I use 2 teaspoons. Okay, so once that's all blended together, you're going to start adding in your dry ingredients and also the liquid. I am using coffee creamer mixed with some regular milk or almond milk, in other words, sorry. And so adding a little bit of flour and a little bit of almond milk at a time until I have depleted them all. And just a FYI, all of this stuff is mixing much longer. I just cut it short to save time. And do make sure that in between adding the dry ingredients, you're lifting up your cake mixer, or if you're using a hand mixer, you're stopping to scrape the sides and the bottom. I have already did that, so this is my last scrape, and I am just going to go ahead and remove this from the base so that I can get deep down and make sure that everything is all well blended together. And then I will add it to my pans. And you guys do make sure that you do not overmix. So once you see everything is gone, it's done. Okay, it's done. Sometimes when I add in the last flour, especially when I'm making pound cakes, I would just use a whisk at the end to just mix that last batch in. But I didn't need to do that because I have been making these cakes for a long time. So you're going to spread the cake batter evenly between both pans and just smooth it out or tap it at the bottom or shake it a little bit just to make sure that it's even out so that you don't have all those wrinkles and crinkles. Okay, so to make the frosting, I am starting with 2 sticks of butter. This butter is also room temperature and softened, but not too soft. You don't want it in a melted form. You just want to be able to press your fingertips in. All right, so I am going to go ahead and let that butter just mix and cream until it is not solid anymore. This is still kind of a solid, so why did I use that word? But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just cream my butter. Okay, and so while that is creaming, I am going to add in a tablespoon of flavoring. I am again using the cookie nip flavor, and then I'm going to take this off and scrape the sides and the bottom. And also then I'm going to let it cream just a little bit more. And while that is creaming, I am going to start adding in my powdered sugar. I am using a whole bag of powdered sugar. To go with this, you don't have to stiff it because powdered sugar is pre-stiffed. But you can't stiff it. I do stiff it sometimes just for fun, I guess. Okay, so I am also adding in some heavy cream. You can use heavy cream, you can use coffee creamer, whatever you choose, or milk, whatever you have in the fridge, in other words. But I am using some heavy cream because, of course, I had some. So I use 4 tablespoons total of the heavy cream with this 32-ounce bag of powdered sugar and the 2 sticks of butter. Okay, but that's for the liking of how I want the frosting to be made for this buttercream, for the cupcakes to go on top of the buttercream for the cake, not cupcakes. If you want it smoother or less thicker, you can go ahead and add more cream. to it, but this is what I want. Now I'm just going to go ahead and let that just mix a little bit longer with this last tablespoon of, oh, I started adding coffee cream. I forgot. I did 2 tablespoons of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of coffee creamer, the sweet Irish cream, just to give it a little bit more flavor. You guys, and also I always like to make sure that I am cleaning up my area. So do clean up your area while you're baking, okay? All right, so I have my cooling racks here. My cake is out of the oven. They did bake at 350 degrees for about 55 minutes. And so I am going to go ahead and just flip these babies over on the cooling rack so that they can cool off and be ready to frost. Okay, look how cute they came out. They are so pretty. These cakes are perfect. All right, so using my buttercream, I do have an 8-inch cake pan here that I'm going to go ahead and just add some buttercream to the bottom of it so that the cake becomes immovable so that it doesn't move and slide off while I am trying to decorate it. Okay, so I am adding the first one on face down so that I can have this flat top. Now you do have the option of like slicing the top off so that everything can be flat, but these did not have much of a round top that I did not see the need to go ahead and flatten that up. So now I am adding some buttercream on top of that layer, the first layer. So then I put the second layer of cake on top of that buttercream, and I'm just going to go ahead and go all around the sides so that we can crumb coat this. Is what the first step of the buttercream, adding the buttercream to the cake process, is called. Okay, so using my cake scraper, I am just going to go ahead and scrape the sides just to smooth that out, and then pop it in the fridge for a little while, about 15 minutes. I'm going to put it in the fridge. My fridge is on high, and putting it in the fridge is going to allow the buttercream to set, so that makes it easier to work with when adding more buttercream or decorating your cake. If you don't like a lot of frosting, definitely by all means just leave it crumb coated. In other words, a naked cake or semi-naked cake. All right, so I want to color my cake purple. I want the outer of my cake to be purple. So I am just using some purple food coloring. I think I got this one out of my local grocery store. In a food aisle, they have like the 4-pack of different colors. But I am using some dark purple to color my buttercream so that it is like a lavender looking color. Okay, so now that my cake is out of the fridge, now I am going to go ahead and apply more buttercream. And then I'm using a scraper. This is a different scraper from the one I used before. There's so many different ones. But I'm using a scraper to just go ahead and smooth that out. And if I see any cracks or peaks, I would just add more buttercream to it. So, and then smooth it out so that way that we have a nice and smooth layer. Okay, so now I am using a decorating scraper to just add a little bit of design, or just, just to make it look a little bit cuter um, around the cake. So I used the line one, and this is how it looked. Now I am going to go ahead and add some buttercream to saran wrap, which I am using both the white and the purple. I did not color all of my buttercream purple. I left some out so that I can have a two-tone method, or have two-tone colors for the piping on top of the cake. So once you add both to the saran wrap, you just wrap it up and cut on each end. You add your piping tip to your piping bag and cut it where it needs to be cut, and then you just add the two-tone color into it, and then you just keep on pushing until you get the two-tone colors out, and then that way you can go ahead and start decorating, you guys. So I am just going around in a circle, and then I'm just dabbing in between each circle. Okay, so I got this white sanding sugar from Walmart. So I'm just going to be adding a little bit of this to the top just to just add more decoration to my cake. And of course, it's just sanding sugar, so it's just some white sparkling sugar. And then I am just topping it off with some white chocolate covered strawberries, and I added some purple drizzle to it. And here is the final look, you guys. It is so pretty. Turned out so good. If you have any questions, leave them below. Please leave me a comment and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe. It does major when you like, subscribe, and comment. And again, share with a friend. All right, so let me know what you think about this cake, this video. If you want me to do more of these cake decorating videos, I'm here for you. Peace out and see y'all next time.